Volt is not selling well. That's not really news. The news is who is buying the Chevy Volt. We've got information you're not going to believe. Here we go again. The government is buying this thing. You're going to want to hear which parts of the government. General Electric, Verizon, and the city of New York, just a few of those helping to boost sales of General Motors' Chevy Volt. So far, only about 6,100 Volts have been sold since the car rolled out last December, and that number would be a lot worse if these companies cozy with the White House and local governments hadn't stepped in. Car coach, automotive expert, and columnist Lauren Fix joins us now. Well, Lauren, I had no idea that General Electric is online to buy 3,000 Volts a year. That's half of all the Volts that are sold. And of course, GE, we know about their cozy relationship.
Yeah,
with
very nice relationship, yes. Yeah. So very interesting. You notice all these cities and all these businesses are buying these Chevy Volts. Where are they getting the money for it? It's not taxpayer dollars. It's stimulus dollars.
So this is the animal chasing its own tail here. We have the government subsidizing GE, subsidizing the Volts, and then they put out all the stimulus money, and the local governments got the stimulus money using that money to buy the Volts.
Right. If you and I were to do that, we'd be in prison. That would be money laundering. I mean, could you imagine that? We couldn't get away with that. But they're taking the money and they're refunding General Motors, of all things, which sort of doesn't make any sense. And you look at the consumers that are buying these cars, and there have been some problems. The cities are absolutely on board. They're staying with it. They're all paying different dollar amounts for these cars.
No, that's very interesting.
Which I find very odd.
You get, what, $7,500 rebate from the government if you buy a Chevy Volt because they want to stimulate the sale.
More money changing hands.
Right, but the fact is that some of these local governments are paying full price, $41,000.
Right, DeLand, Florida is paying $41,000 for a car, but Babylon, New York pays $29,500.
Does that suggest to you that they're looking for a way to spend that stimulus money and help out GE or General Motors?
You and I would get on a plane, drive to Babylon, get the cars, and have them freighted down there, or drive them back to DeLand and save money. It makes no sense why each city's paying different dollars amounts.
So who outside of General Electric, outside of these local communities, is buying the Volt?
A lot of consumers are. There are a lot of very green people that want to do the right thing.
Not a lot, because there are only 6,000 sold so far.
Overall, the big picture is no one who is manufacturing hybrids is making profits, not sales. Sales, they are making some, even Toyota. But if you look at the profit margins, there is none. So they're making these things because CAFE standards are pressuring them to do that. The government is saying, if you don't do that, we're going to tax the corporations. So the corporations are saying, you know what? We're all going to produce hybrids, plug-in cars. We're going to make the Obama administration happy. But in reality, they're not making profits. And isn't that what you're in business to do? Isn't that the bottom line?
What happens, by the way, when this $7,500 disappears, this extra money that you get back from the government?
Their sales will drop even further because that's an incentive for people to buy them. And when you have to plug it into the wall everywhere, it's like walking around with a cell phone with an outlet, with a charger going, I need to find an outlet somewhere. That's not exactly everywhere. Yes, there are going to be charging stations. Yes, hybrid cars are here to stay. But are they ever going to be mainstream? I highly doubt it.
Okay, here's the bottom line question of all this. Would General Motors, if it didn't have influence from the federal government, be in the electric car business at all, based on these numbers?
I think they built the Volt strictly to say that we are the first to be the first plug-in hybrid electric car. I don't think they would build it because they need to sell cars. And if you look at what they're selling, that's not their top-selling vehicles.
Now, the government claims that they are not taking any kind of managerial control, pushing them one way or the other. Do you believe that?
We have heard that. I talk to people that work at General Motors all the time, all the different divisions, but I still think there is an influence. I think they have to pay back the loan that they took the money from us at some point. Unlike Chrysler, who got the money gifted to them and it disappeared to another country, General Motors is on the hook. They've got to get that money back. They need their sales back. They are coming back. General Motors does make some fantastic cars, but they sell more trucks than anything else.
Great Cadillacs. I love their Cadillac.
Oh, their Cadillac is fantastic.
By the way,
so is the Buick line.
Have you ever driven a Volt?
Yes, I have.
Do you like it?
I had a Volt, and I will tell you, I know it's going to stir a whole pot. I had it for a week, and I plugged it into the wall, and I have a list of all my bills, and my bill went up. My personal bill went up $100. I have copies of it. I've had 1 million people say when I posted my column in my review, that to me makes no sense that my personal bill went up $100.
Wow.
And they said, that's impossible, that's incredible. I'm sure people are screaming at the TV now, but I have proof of it, and we don't know why. I plugged it in at night. All I can say is at that time, only getting 30 miles of charge and a 9-gallon tank, it was absolutely not worth it for me and my lifestyle. For some people, it's fantastic. But for me, a hybrid just doesn't work.
In the end, petroleum may be a better source of energy for cars.
Diesel's a great solution, yep.
Lauren Fix, good to see you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.